Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Rich, and on this channel, we talk about all things that help you become a better version of yourself, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. We talk about it on this channel. We are halfway through 2024. I cannot believe it. We are almost in July. Half of the year has already gone by. And when I think about the first half of the year, I'm reflecting on all the things that I've accomplished, that I've set as goals. Did I successfully execute on them? Did I need to give my grace on? Need to give myself grace on some things? Were there some things that I had to push to Q3, Q4, or some things that I just had to scratch off altogether? When you think about going into a new year, I'm not a person that set New Year's resolutions, but I try to have a word, and then I also try to really focus on certain things. But I don't like to say this is my New Year's resolution because there's so much pressure if you happen to have to push it back, scratch it off. You don't quite execute the way that you want to. But then also, it's easily for the New Year's resolutions to completely fall off within the first 3 weeks. So I don't set those. But when I think about where I am halfway through the year, I'm pretty excited about the second half of 2024, as well as the things that I've accomplished. So I'll ask you, how are you doing with your 2024 goals? Did you have goals in Q1, Q2? Have you executed on them? Were there opportunities where you had to push things back and put them on hold? I will tell you, my therapist made me very aware that I have a lot of ideas. I start a lot of projects, and because I do, I overwhelm myself because I have all these ideas and I'm trying to execute on 20 different things at one time, and I'm not delegating. So where are you at with your goals for 2024? Or were these just short-term and long-term goals that you were already working on going into 2024, and how you're doing? Is there an opportunity for you to give yourself grace? Is there an opportunity to bring in someone to delegate? Delegation is so important when you think about executing on goals, whether that are your personal or professional goals. When you think about how we burn ourselves out, how we overwhelm ourselves, how we put ourselves in positions where we're afraid to step away and take PTO and take vacation, sometimes it comes directly from the willingness to delegate or not. So is there an opportunity for you to delegate and give someone else a responsibility, whether that's a social media manager, that's an assistant, is that someone in the workplace that you can help upskill to learn how to take over when you step away, or to take away some of those responsibilities? But that's something to consider when you think about your goals. If you're not quite where you want to be, or if there's something specifically that you're looking to execute in Q3 and Q4, can you bring someone else on board to help you execute those goals? Is there a project that you had to completely scratch? There are things that I know that I had to say, not right now, as well as just not going to happen at all. And maybe it was a vision and a goal that I was really excited about, but I felt like, you know what, this isn't really aligning with what I want to do. And as I continue to go into this journey of determining how do I pour into people, how do I build this community up, there are things that I think at one point that is working well or is going to be great, and then as I continue to go on and plan, or has other opportunities present itself, not so much. So is there something that you had to scratch completely, or that you had to put on hold? And if you had to put it on hold, well, what does that look like? Is it something that you're going to execute in Q3, Q4, or you're putting on hold and say, this is a project I probably need to pick back up in 2025, or is it a project that I need some additional information to determine if it's even worth pursuing? Or prayer. Did you pray about it? Okay. There's a lot of things that I've taken on or tried to take on that really wasn't aligned with my vision, my mission, or my purpose. But I thought it was a good idea. I thought that it would align perfectly. I thought that, I'll be honest too, that it'll bring in a certain level of income and attract some clients. And it really wasn't just aligned with what I needed to do. So did you pray on it? Did you fast on it? What did you do to even determine that it's something that you should be doing, or are you just doing everything that comes your way or idea that comes your way? And I'm guilty of it, so I'm not judging at all. Additionally, are you celebrating the wins for making it to June 2024? And then also all the things that you have accomplished, whether you completely executed on it, whether you've made progress, whether you've taken the first step. Have you taken an opportunity to celebrate the wins of the things that you may have accomplished or the progress that you've made over the last 6 months? And I know a lot of times we really, really are hard on ourselves if you don't quite execute it or get to the completion or the finish line like you want to, but we have to take opportunities to celebrate those small wins. Or are we missing opportunities to recognize it was a big win, but because it did not fully, right, develop the way that we thought that we wanted it to initially, we missed those opportunities. But you have to look at it and say, is this a success? Most importantly, did it make the impact that I wanted? Did it exceed my expectations? I know at times that I've done things where I'm like, I thought that it was going to look this way and it did not look that way. But then I get this overwhelming amount of feedback from whether it's participants, attendees, individuals that were involved or was impacted in some way. And they provide me the feedback to kind of help ground me to say, it didn't happen the way you wanted to, Jessica, but the impact was still there. You wanted to pour into people. You wanted to touch individuals. You wanted to make a difference, and you did that. But you can't control everything. So are you missing an opportunity to really highlight you did a great job? You executed. It may have not looked exactly the way you wanted it to, but don't miss that opportunity to celebrate yourself and your wins and keeping your eye on the actual mission, your vision, and your purpose. Sometimes we get in the way because we get caught up in what society is saying, what we're saying to ourselves, what we're saying is successful, what we're trying to control as what the outcome should be. And that may not always be God's plan. You know, when you really think about what you're called to do and your purpose, you can't be so controlling about what the outcome is supposed to look like, especially if it's not the way that you envisioned it. And I've had that experience even this year that, I had a vision, set on that vision, and it didn't quite work out that way. But the overwhelming responses that I received about the impact lets me know that I'm keeping in mind my purpose, the community that I want to create, the people that I want to connect with. And I had to remove myself. I have to remove myself. And there's sometimes I catch myself in advance that, hey, you need to remove yourself from the situation. So did you celebrate yourself? Are you celebrating yourself? If there's something you need to take into consideration, maybe journal, write it down. Like, what happened this year? What did you do? What did you accomplish? What did you start? And taking that opportunity to celebrate where you are June 2024, where you were not December 31st, 2023. So I just want to step in, do a yearly mid-year check-in on how you're feeling with your goals. Are you accomplishing them? Are you working towards it? Or is there some areas of opportunity for you to be more consistent, more disciplined, more focused, which I'm talking to myself when I say that as well. And how can you incorporate those habits in the second half of the year for you to accomplish your goals? Because truly, sometimes we can be in distraction to ourselves, and it takes us having a certain level of mindset shift, us having a certain group of individuals around ourselves, us removing certain distractions, whether that's in our personal, professional life, so that we can really, really pour into what we are called to do with our purpose. So yearly check-in. If you're comfortable, share in the comments what you're doing, what you're celebrating. Let's focus on that. What are you celebrating for 2024 that you've done the first half of the year? And if you have any goals for the second half of the year, you feel comfortable sharing that as well, please do so. But I want to make sure that you take an opportunity to reflect. All right. Reflect on the first half of the year and think about what you're going to do, where you're going in the second half of 2024, and really defining what that success looks like for you. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I always appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.